Hello my dear students, welcome back to my class. In the series of learning programming in C, in the previous video, we discussed about malloc function. Well, in today's video, we will see calloc function with a programming example, where in that programming example, we will also see the difference between malloc and calloc. So those who are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon so that you can get the notification of all the videos. Watch the video till the end, do not skip the video. And if you like the video, please click on the like button and share the video to all your friends. So calloc function, just like malloc, calloc is also one more function in the standard library. So this calloc function is used to allocate the memory dynamically. So it helps in dynamic memory allocation. It will allocate continuous memory. So it will have continuous memory allocation. And it is also one of the built-in function in standard library.h. And one more point to say with this calloc is it allocates multiple blocks of memory of the same size and initializes that to 0. Whereas in calloc, it is going to allocate a block of memory and the values will not be initialized to 0. That is a speciality, one extra feature of calloc. It allocates multiple blocks of same size and initializes to 0. So how to use this? As usual, calloc function, it takes two arguments. Again, talking about the difference between calloc and malloc, malloc will take only one argument and calloc will take two arguments. One is the number of blocks, comma, the size of each block. Total number of blocks that it has to allocate, followed with that the size of each block. And as usual, it is going to return a generic pointer, means it can point to a location that can store any type of data. Later we need to typecast it. So we will see that example here. Say calloc, say n number of blocks, size of that each block. So actual how we write, we say pointer variable, say it may be an integer pointer. So calloc function is going to return a generic pointer, some location. It has to be typecasted to our requirement. So I'm going to typecast here to integer. Typecast that location to integer so that it can store integer type of values and represents the number of blocks and size of int. Say int, it depends upon the processor that what we use. It may take 2 bytes or it may take 4 bytes. So n number of blocks and size of each block, typecast that to integer and store that address to PTR. So how it is going to store the address, how it is going to get the memory allocation, let us understand this with a programming example. So here we go with a complete program to understand calloc function. So void main, and we need to include all the header files, that is stdio.h and stdlib.h. Then we have the variables ni and the pointer variable asterisk ptr. So in the output stream, the first message that what I'm going to get is enter the number of values. So that message I'm going to get, enter the number of values. So say for example, I'm going to enter 3. So that will go into the variable n. I got the value 3. Then I say allocate the memory using calloc function n, that is 3. Size of integer, if it is with 16-bit machine, say 2 bytes. So it is 3 blocks of memory equally will be allocated with 2 bytes. So we will have 2 bytes of memory, right? And we are going to typecast that to integer and that address, base address. So 101 is the base address. So this address will be held in the pointer. See, pointer will be in the stack memory and this memory allocation will be in the heap memory. Pointer will be pointing to this base address. So PTR will get the address 101. So it will be pointing to this location 101. So all these things I have explained in detail in the previous malloc function also. Please do check out the video of malloc function also. Now I'll be getting the message, enter the values. So memory is allocated, now it's time to enter the values. So the loop starts and I say I equal to 0, I less than n. Then condition 2, scan an integer. As PTR itself represents the address, we need not use ampersand here. So I just said PTR plus I. PTR plus I in the sense it is represented as PTR plus I into the size of the data type. I into, this is the inbuilt calculation, or what we can say the implicit calculation, what the compiler is going to do. So it is pointer means address, plus I into the size of the data type, integer, it is 2. So it is 2 bytes. So it is I into 2 has to be calculated first, because we have the operator precedence rules. Multiplication has the highest precedence and then the plus. So it is I into 2. What is the I value? It is 0. 0 into 2. This will be calculated. So what will be the answer? 0 plus PTR value means 101. So it is 101 plus 0, it is 101. So it is going to store an integer value. So I am going to enter 45. This value will be stored in the address 101. So PTR is pointing to 101. My first value will be stored here, 45. Then again loop back. I have to loop back. I plus plus, I gets increased. Now the I value is not 0. It is incremented. Again check the condition. It is 1. So it is 1 into 2. It is 2. So 101 plus 2. So it is 101. 1 into 2, it is 2. 101 plus 2, it is 103. So here it says 103. So again, actual PTR value will be 101 itself as base address. PTR always points to base address. Now it gets pointed to the location 103. So I'll just say I'll enter 67. So that value will be stored here. Again loop back. I gets increased to 2. Base address will be 101 itself. So it is 101. 2 into 2. It is 4. So 101 plus 4. It is 105. So the next location is 105. So I'll just enter 99. So that value will be stored in 105. So like this, the internal calculations will be done. So it is PTR plus I, in the sense I into 2. This part will be done by the compiler. Into 2 means it is the size of the data type. Okay. So then I'll be getting a message, entered values are. So again I equal to 0, I less than n. Now look at here, I say asterisk. Asterisk represents value at that location. So it is value at the location PTR plus I. So I will be 0. 0 into 2, it is 0. So it is 101 plus 0, it is 101. So it is asterisk 101. So value at the location 101. So value at the location 101 is 45. Again loop back. So it has to loop back. I gets increase. Again check. It is 1 into 2. It is 2. So 101 plus 2, it is 103. So value at the location 103. Value at the location 103. So PTR is asterisk 103. So value at the location 103, it is 67. It is going to print 67. Again loop back, I gets increase. So base address is always 101. Plus this is incremented to 2. 2 into 2, it is 4. So 101 plus 4, it is 105. Asterisk 105. So asterisk 105. Value at the location 105, it is 99. So like this, it is going to access the heap memory through pointers. So pointer plays a vital role. So now we have seen with calloc, right? So we accept the value and we print the value. So I think you have understood with this. You have to analyze this particular calculation. So it is PTR plus I into 2, size of the data type. I have explained the same thing in the previous video also. Please do check out in the malloc function program. So now what I'll do, if I just change this to malloc, what happens? The same thing, but here the values will not be initialized to 0. So what I'll do here, I'll just comment this, enter the values. Values will not be accepted. Malloc function, and this argument I need to change. It is n into size of int. So malloc function allocates a block of memory of the integer type. So it is 2 into 3, totally 6 bytes of block of memory will be allocated, but the values will not be initialized to 0 by default. Now this portion is commented, so it will not be executed. And if I simply say entered values or so on, so it is going to print some junk values here. So this portion will not be there. I get entered values are some junk values I am going to get. But if it is in the case of calloc, I am going to get, if I comment the same thing, I am going to get 0, 0. So let us see the execution of this program. So here we go with the program to understand this calloc function. So as usual, we need to include the header files stdio.h and stdlib.h library. Then we have the variables ni and the ptr, asterisk ptr, that is pointer variable. So initially we need to accept how many number of values we need to store, that is stored in the variable n. And then this is the calloc function. So here calloc followed with two arguments. One is the number of blocks that I need to allocate and the size of the block, and it has to be typecasted to integer. So integer pointer, so that address will be held in pointer. So typecasting the calloc function, and both malloc and calloc will return void pointer, that is the pointer that can point to any type of values. So I need to typecast that to integer. So integer asterisk, so it is getting typecasted. Then that address will be held in PTR. So PTR will be pointing to some location that can store integer type of values. Then later we say enter the values. Using for loop we accept the values. And we say scan an integer, we need not use ampersand. We have understood that why we should not use ampersand in the previous video. Please do check out the playlist, look at the malloc function program. So it is ptr plus I, in the sense how it gets calculated I have explained. So then we need to scan the values, then we will print the entered values. We say asterisk, that is value at the location address. So it is going to print all the values. Then finally free the pointer. Save the program and then run the program. So enter the number of values. I just say 3 values. So enter the values of 45, 67, say 89. See, the entered values are 45, 67 and 89. The same thing I can do with malloc also. The argument changes here. I should say n into the size of integer. Save the program. So clear this. Run the program. Enter the number of values. I just say 3. Enter the values 6, 7. See, entered values are 4, 6, 7. So with malloc function, as I said, the values will not be initialized to 0. So what I'll do here, let me comment this, enter the values. So I'm going to comment this now. Now save this. Again run the program. I'll just say enter the number of values 3. See, entered values are, so you get junk values. If I just change this to calloc, what happens? Just say calloc n comma. Now I'll say save this. Clear. As in calloc, as I said, the values will be initialized to 0. Now run the program. So I say enter the number of values. So I say 3. Look at here. Entered values. See, I get zeros. So this is what the major difference between calloc and malloc. So hope you have understood with this. That's all for today's video. So in the next video, till then, take care. Bye bye.